Wealth is a concept that intrigues so many people, but there's always a debate around the actual meaning of wealth. Is wealth to have money, to be happy, to be healthy, to have freedom? Well, I personally believe to be wealthy you must have all four. You should be healthy, you should be happy and content with your life. You should be free with your time and your money. Those four things are my definition of wealth. It's sort of the ultimate flex, the successful he or she. To be wealthy is also to have the title and the status of wealth. So I thought as a finance channel, I would do my research looking through podcasts, books, watching documentaries, reading autobiographies of successful people, looking through articles, you name it, to find what wealthy people spend their money on that keeps them wealthy. So in this video, I'm going to tell you the top 5 things that I found that wealthy people tend to spend their money on. And I'm not just talking about Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, because although their successes are incredible, it's quite far-fetched for the average person. So I'm going to sort of be talking about the top 10%, what they spend their money on that you should too. So make sure you stick all the way to the end for all the juicy knowledge I'm about to share with you, and please hit that like and subscribe button. It would help me out a ton. Let's get into it. Number 1 is an obvious one. The wealthy are smart. They understand the difference in assets and liabilities, and that assets are things that you can acquire that will generate you money. It's the art of making your money make you more money, a very specific and disciplined skill. So yes, the wealthy focus on assets such as real estate. Why? Because with real estate you have leverage, meaning you can buy more for your buck. For example, if you had 100k to spend on a house, you could buy a 500k house as you get a mortgage. So that 100k could actually be worth 500k. Whereas buying 100k worth of stocks, you can only really buy 100k worth of stocks. Real estate also provides passive income, meaning you can buy a property, rent it out, and then you pay someone to manage the property. This just gives you passive cash flow every single month. And finally, all wealthy people know that you can get capital appreciation, as the houses will always be getting more expensive, as there is always more people being birthed onto the planet, and therefore there will always be more demand. And therefore, property is an asset. Another asset is stocks, bonds, and crypto, or just the idea of investing. When doing some smart research on what stocks or crypto to invest your money into, you then buy those stocks with the hope that the value will go up, or you invest your money in dividend stocks and they'll pay you at a certain point monthly or annually. And again, they spend their money on businesses or invest in business with the intention that the business will be successful, which will then result in them getting a good return. So there's just a few examples of assets that the wealthy tend to spend their money on. And this isn't to say that they don't spend money on liabilities, because I'm sure they have to, with car payments, children, subscriptions, etc. But what they do is manage it more effectively, and instead of constantly spending their money on useless things like branded clothing, they'll reinvest it in a sense. Secondly, I found that the wealthy spend a lot of their money on education, and this isn't just school, this is knowledge, information. As you know, knowledge is power. But according to a study, 85% of millionaires read 2 or more books each and every single month. But these millionaires don't just read any old book, they read books that will help them grow and learn, such as self-improvement books, leadership books, finance books, biographies of successful people, etc, etc. And I have a whole massive list of entrepreneurial books, self-improvement books, investment books, finance books, psychological books, history books that I'm going to personally buy and read one by one to improve myself. So I'll tell you what, if you stick all the way to the end of the video for me, I'll share that list with you. But why are successful people so obsessed with books? Think about it. A book is on average £10, and that book on a lot of cases is an insight to a person's mind. Reading a book like Rich Dad Poor Dad, where he gives away countless secrets and tricks, or even an autobiography, the life story of your chosen person, for just £10 is insane. I'm personally confident that if a lot of the spectacular books out there were just converted into courses or programs, they would be an absolute fortune, and rightfully so. But education doesn't only come in a form of books. What I found is that a lot of wealthy people attend courses or seminars in specific topics or skills that they want to improve on, whether that be personal or business. And you are paying a premium in some cases, as you are getting a premium back in knowledge. And like I said, knowledge, skills, information is key, always. And this does follow on to the third thing I found that wealthy people tend to spend their money on, which is self-improvement, self-development. And this can be in the form of books, personal development courses, the gym, personal trainers, etc. Because as we all know, the more you better the body, the easier it is to better the mind. And I fully understand why wealthy people do spend so much money on self-improvement, because realistically, if you aren't improving and growing, you're dying. I'm also a firm believer in the fact that getting out your comfort zone, evolving and becoming better is a crucial part in having wealth in all the 4 aspects I spoke about earlier. Think about it, you don't tend to see an overweight millionaire. I mean, maybe in the movies, but not in real life. Because a wealthy person knows that making money isn't fulfilling, so they have to better themselves in the mind and the body in order to feel full and happy and content. And so to get them the best result for themselves, they spend the money on things that can help them to achieve that goal. Which isn't always physical, a lot of the time it's mental. In the book Cash Flow Quadrants by Robert Kiyosaki, he talks about entrepreneurial development and how crucial it is to develop the mind. And so as a result, he attends a lot of personal development seminars. This is to constantly learn more about himself and what he can achieve, and although that may be not hitting the gym every day, it's still finding a way to grow. The wealthy know what the most valuable thing to mankind is. The one thing that everyone has the same amount of that is always going to be limited. More valuable than money, riches, big houses, family, and that is time. The fourth thing that I found that wealthy people tend to spend their money on the most is things that will save them time. The quote by Charles Darwin, "The man who dares to waste an hour of time has not discovered the true value of life," sort of sums it up. If you ask any wealthy person what they wish they had more of, I guarantee you they will say time. Because no matter what you do, whether it's making millions or drug dealing around the town, the one thing that stays the same is time, as it keeps on moving regardless. And for that reason, the wealthy know how to spend their time wisely, as it's the most valuable thing. For useless tasks, they will outsource them and spend money to have someone else take care of them. This is the same for travel, business. They will spend money to have that taken care of so that they can focus on the more important things. Spend their time wisely. Which in my eyes makes complete sense. This also accounts for efficiency. They will spend their money on efficiency which will save them time, such as buying a jet. It may seem like a ludicrous idea, but they don't do it to take a picture and put it on the gram, but they do it because they can travel from country to country in record time, skipping all the commercial security and long waiting times, booking, etc. Think about it, it will make sense. Bill Gates once said, "The day you can go on a private jet without posting about it is the day that you've made it." And last but not least, through my research, I found that a lot of wealthy people do spend a stupid amount of money, but they don't spend it on the same stuff that we do. When wealthy people do splash the cash, they tend to do it on experiences as per to materialistic things. For example, they would rather go out on a nice one-time meal and spend £1,000 that night, as per to buying a £1,000 t-shirt or new shoes, etc. And that's why you don't see a wealthy person dripped out on swag, and they tend to wear unbranded shirts. But then again, you would see an article about them going to Carver for a month because they felt like it. Wealthy people know that experiences are worth so much more than materialistic objects, because you take experiences and memories to the grave, and that's worth everything. So as a quick summary, the idea of being wealthy is to be rich in time, happiness, freedom, and of course, health, as it's the ultimate flex. And the things I've just listed previously is what they spend their money on. Right, so on the screen now I'm going to put a list of my books that I was telling you about. So go show your mum, go show your dad, go show your cat, and please leave a like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it a lot, and I'll bring out more bangers like this to your faces soon come, so stay tuned, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you next time.